Good morning. It is May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, which is everybody should eat tacos on Taco Tuesday. And this is your mini lesson for reading. So we have been reading part of the snake book. We're going to continue with the snake book. Today, our target is I can figure out the main idea of one part of the book, and I can show you how I figured that out. That's your target. I can figure out the main idea of one part of the book, and I can tell you how I figured that out. So we are going to turn to where we left off, Snakes Alive. All snakes lay eggs. 40 or more eggs may hatch at one time. Some snakes lay eggs in a nest and leave them to hatch on their own. Predators may eat those eggs, and the baby snakes too. Some snakes stay with their eggs to keep them warm. It is tough because snakes are cold-blooded. Mother python coils around the eggs and shivers. The shivering keeps the eggs warm. So the main part of this is they want you to know that all snakes come out of eggs. No snakes are born alive. And there's two different ways that this happens. One is that some mama snakes lay their eggs in a nest and they leave. The problem with that is that a predator may eat the eggs or the snake, but still they lay the eggs. The second way is that they lay eggs and then they stay with them to keep them warm. So this snake shivers to keep the eggs warm, but still it lays eggs. And the reason it shivers is because it's cold-blooded, and so it's hard for them to keep their eggs warm. So that was mostly about the fact that all snakes come from eggs, and there are two different ways that happens. A reticulated python is the largest snake in the world. It is found in Southeast Asia. A small zoo in Indonesia claims it owns a python that's almost 49 inches long. 49 feet long. The snake is as long as a tractor trailer and weighs 900 pounds. Big snake. Check this page out. So the title of this one is Snakes Live Almost Everywhere. The word almost is really important here. The only place that there are no snakes is Ireland, New Zealand, and the North and South Pole. The horned viper lives in the North African desert. Its horn protects its eyes from the sun. So it says that they live almost everywhere, but then it tells you that they don't live in Ireland, they don't live in New Zealand, or the North or South Pole. So I know that the North and South Pole is too cold for them. I don't know why they don't live in Ireland or New Zealand. And so this guy has horns over his eyes, kind of like sunglasses. And this guy is a valley garter snake that was found throughout North America. Hissing hunters. Snakes are hunters. Some hiss loudly before they strike their prey. Most hide silently in the water, trees, or in burrows, and then they attack. The garden tree boa lives in the rainforest of Central and South America. When the boa senses a prey, it pounces. So it says hissing hunters. Some of them hiss when they hunt. Most of them are very quiet and lay in wait, and then you don't even know they're there. That's what makes them so scary. They kind of surprise us. Anacondas hide in shallow water, and when something tasty passes by, it grabs it with its teeth. They can drag it under the water. Anacondas are constrictors. They coil their bodies around their prey. Each time they capture animals, takes a breath, the snake tightens its hold, and the snake squeezes so tightly that their prey cannot breathe. All snakes are hunters. Whether they hiss when they hunt before they catch their prey, whether they lay quietly in their homes, trees, or water to catch it. This one waits in the water shallow and then as something goes by that it wants, it grabs it and drags it underwater until it can't breathe. Rattlesnakes shake, rattle, and roll. Rattlesnakes rattle to make the rings are made of keratin, the materials that you find in your fingernails. The rings are attached at the end of the rattler's tail. The rattler gets a new ring each time it sheds its skin. A rattle shakes its tail when it's scared. The rings knock together and make noise. Most animals run when they hear that sound of the venomous snake. So it doesn't hiss, but it shakes its tail to let you know it's there. So the big idea of that last piece that I wrote was about snakes being hunters. The big idea is snakes are hunters for their food. I know that this happens in many different ways. That it rattles when it's scared, not necessarily when it's hunting. The anaconda waits in shallow water and then grabs a snake and drags it underwater. Other snakes may just lay quietly in trees, burrows, or in water and wait until something goes by that it wants to eat. So the big idea is that snakes can be hunters. And I know this is important because it talks about how they eat. So that is today's mini lesson. So today you are going to be reading how animals survive in harsh habitat. Habitats are an animal's home. Harsh can mean snowy, really cold weather, hot, really dry weather, places in like the desert where there's no water or too much water. And you're going to read about how some animals survive in that. And you're going to do some coloring in here. How does a kangaroo rat get water? You're going to color that red. Why do trees grow in tundras? Why can't trees grow in tundras? Tundra's really cold. How does a brown bear survive in the cold? And how does a kangaroo rat stay cool? So you're going to color those different colors. Friends, when you're answering these questions, I want you to remember to answer them in complete sentences, not one or two. Why are harsh habitats less diverse than other habitats? So diverse means they change. Here in Vermont, we have spring, summer, fall, and winter. We're very diverse. We have many different temperatures and water and no water and hot and cold and food and no food. So it talks about why the ones that aren't like that are harsh. Write 3 questions in which the answer is found in the text. So thinking about that. This is really important. Describe 3 things about the kangaroo rat that helps it survive in the forest. Explain how the brown bear survives in the winter. Those are really about how you read. Adaptations and hibernation are really important words in this. So that is today's reading. And you're also reading for 15 to 20 minutes on your own from either Raz Kids or Epic Books. I will go in and put some animal books and Epic Books for you today. So I hope you're having a great morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And I will talk to you soon.